All right, let's dive right in. We're looking at something called the TerraHash Stack today, and the claim is huge, that it can totally redesign Bitcoin mining to be smarter, way cheaper, and, get this, more sustainable. So let's see if the reality matches the hype.
You know, this is the big question that looms over the entire crypto space, right? Can you actually make money mining Bitcoin without, setting a pile of money on fire or being an energy hog? It's the central problem that everyone is trying to solve. And this really lays out the two sides of the coin. On the one hand, you've got the old way of doing things. Super high costs, returns that are all over the place, and just a lot of inefficiency. But the TerraHash Stack is promising something totally different, bringing those costs down, making operations stable, and cranking efficiency way up.
So what's actually broken with the traditional plug-and-play model? Well, these mining farms buy these expensive, all-in-one units, but the real killer is their cooling system. It's usually just fans, and they cause this massive problem called thermal throttling. The hardware gets too hot, so it automatically slows itself down to cool off. And when that happens, your processing power, your hash rate, just plummets, and so do your profits.
So the TerraHash team decided to just throw out the old playbook. They're rebuilding the whole concept from the ground up. Instead of those pre-built boxes, they're focused on three things: building with individual modular parts, using some seriously advanced cooling, and then letting a super smart AI run the entire operation.
Okay, so how do they actually pull this off? This is where we get into the really cool engineering. The secret sauce really comes down to two big changes: how they get the hardware in the first place and how they keep it from overheating.
First up, the hardware. Now, instead of buying a whole mining rig off the shelf, which can cost a fortune, this model is all about buying the core components, the individual ASIC boards, straight from the source. Just by making that one change, they cut their hardware costs by an incredible 60% for the exact same amount of mining power. That's huge.
And second, and honestly, this is the real game changer, is the cooling. We already talked about air cooling. It's loud, it's clunky, it wastes energy, and it's what causes that performance-killing throttling. The TerraHash Stack, though, uses a direct-to-chip liquid cooling system. We're talking silent, hyper-efficient, and it lets you unlock a whole new level of performance.
And check out the advantages this gives you. With liquid cooling, you can safely overclock the hardware by 30%, just running it faster, stably. You literally double the lifespan of your chips, from maybe 2 or 3 years to 4 or even 5. You use 67% less energy just on cooling, and you pretty much get rid of those profit-killing slowdowns entirely, like 95% of them. And here's the kicker. You can capture 85% of all that waste heat to use for other things. We'll come back to that because it's a really big deal. So, you've got the hardware, you've got the cooling. The last piece of this puzzle is the brain. It's an AI agent that is constantly watching over everything. It's tuning the system on the fly for the best performance. It can predict when a part might need maintenance before it breaks, and it handles all the safety stuff automatically. It's what makes the whole thing a stable, hands-off operation.
Okay, the tech is slick. It's impressive. But does it make money? Let's get to the part everyone's waiting for. Let's look at the financials and see if all this clever engineering actually pays off.
So if we look at the top mining chips for a typical facility, you'll see something interesting. Take a look at the S21 model. Yeah, the upfront cost for the hardware is the highest, almost $2 million. But because its hash rate is just so much more powerful, look at that projected 5-year profit. It completely blows the other options out of the water. And just how much better is it? We're talking about a projected net profit of $32.7 million over 5 years, assuming a bull market. That's not revenue, that's the profit you're left with. That is the insane power of pairing the best hardware with this incredibly efficient system.
And here's why that number is so high. It's not just about earning more, it's about keeping more. The TerraHash Stack delivers an 82% higher net profit margin than a regular old air-cooled mine. Think about it this way. For every dollar that comes in, you get to keep way more of it.
And now for the number that makes investors sit up and pay attention, the internal rate of return, or IRR.
For the full build-out, this system pulls in a mind-blowing 467% IRR in a bull market. I mean, that is just a phenomenal return on your initial investment.
But this is where the story gets even more interesting, because it's not just about the money. This model has the potential to do a lot more than just boost a balance sheet. It could actually have a positive social and environmental ripple effect that could change how we all think about Bitcoin mining.
To understand how, you need to know this term, anchor tenant. It's a simple idea. Think about a new shopping mall. The developers first need to sign a big, reliable store, like a Target or a Macy's, that guarantees years of rent. That's the anchor tenant. Their reliable business makes the whole project less risky and financially possible for investors.
Well, a TerraHash facility is the perfect anchor tenant for energy. It has a constant, predictable need for power 24/7. So if you want to build a new microgrid, say solar or wind, in a rural area, the mining operation can guarantee a steady customer. This reduces the financial risk so much that it can cut the grid's payback period by 40%, making it possible to bring cheap, stable power to communities that never had it before.
And hey, remember all that waste heat we said gets captured? Well, it's not waste at all. It's another product. By selling that thermal energy, a single facility can generate an extra $210,000 in revenue. Every single year.
And this isn't just a number on a spreadsheet. This captured heat gets put to real, practical use in the community. We're talking about things like district heating to warm local homes and businesses, or pumping that heat into commercial greenhouses to support local farming, even in the winter. It literally turns an industrial byproduct into a valuable community asset, which all leads to this final, really powerful idea from the source material. This isn't just about a better machine. It's about changing the role of Bitcoin mining in our energy future. The goal here is to show that mining can actually be the key, the linchpin that helps us build a greener, more fair energy system.
So that leaves us with the big question. Is the TerraHash Stack just a really, really smart and profitable machine? Or does its ability to anchor green energy projects and support local communities represent something much bigger? Maybe the true future of what this technology can become? That's the question we'll be watching. Thanks for tuning in.